Welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time to cover the newest champion in MCoC, none other than Phoenix. A lot of us had wanted her buff for a long time, and she's here, and this is a very, very powerful buff. We're going to cover everything you need to know about how to play her, where she's going to be good, what I think her future in the game is going to be, and then, of course, there's one thing, and I know it's going to be on the thumbnail or the title somewhere, that like if you're enjoying her, make sure you're doing this. It was so helpful in defeating these opponents, not only more safely, but more efficiently in time and things like that. And I'm going to show it to you right here. Now, of course, she's going to be good in these sorts of fights. These sorts being where the defender has attacks that can't be parry stunned, basically, right? They're non-contact. And that's because it's going to like, it just basically gives Phoenix more fuel to do what she's trying to do. But you're going to see it right here. We're getting our power going, right? And then we went into our heavy. Remember, when you hold your heavy, she's got this passive stun. It's really great. It's similar to America Chavez, okay? And this is where the large damage is going to be happening. You're seeing that 3,537. That's that instant incinerate. Well, you go into this, and then you go into your striker, and then you go back into this, and you absolutely just melt opponents. You're going to see me do that time and time and time again. I very much got very comfortable holding on to my striker once I was set up. I think that Shuri had around 40% of her health when we started that initial combo into the initial heavy, into the striker, into the heavy. And it just feels like what Phoenix is meant to do, right? She's just going to melt in these moments, okay? It's part of why she's going to be very good against Sentinel. And then the whole non-contact hits, it's why she's very good for Arnim Zola. Plus she's got the passive stun helping you with Zola. And I'll cover that in my how to fight Zola video a bit more, okay? All right. So we're going to go in here and we're going to talk a little bit about how to play her. Like, okay, that's great, very good, that's cool, but how do I play her? Also, one last thing, doesn't need to be awakened. We'll cover the awakened ability here at the end of the video where I give kind of like my finalized thoughts. Does not need to be awakened. You're going to see me live stream to go out and get her. I'll take her at least to rank 2 right away, and I will not awaken her, okay? So the way you play her is you're going to go in, you do your basic combos. You can see those yellow, I think they're called Phoenix Force charges in the upper left-hand corner. You're going to get extras when you well-time block non-parryable hits, basically. That's why you see me trying to parry specials and things like that. I love that moment, that the striker, you just melt these champions. And you're going to get those Phoenix Force charges. You're then going to go in, you're going to hold your heavy, and you're going to get your incinerates up. And your Phoenix Force charges help you get your incinerates. The max incinerates, I believe, is 12, okay? Anything above that becomes like an instant incinerate, and that instant incinerate is modified by the Furies that you get off of your special 2, or your special 1. So you can kind of see how this works. Another really cool part about the heavy, and I'm showing it here in this infamous Iron Man fight, is it does have an armor break. Not only do you sometimes want armor break, think about like Red Skull or something like that, but there is a champion like Idoom who gets their incinerate immunity from having armor break. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. I'm almost, you can tell though, I'm almost there. I'm almost back. So in a fight like this, I just landed my heavy. I did it quickly though. I didn't elongate it because I couldn't get incinerates on anyway. I just wanted the armor break, and then we go straight into it. And then because Infamous Iron Man has those attacks that can't be parry stunned, the non-contacts, we ramped up so fast, we never even went to our special 2. We just threw the special 1, got the Furies, never even had to go our special 2 because the melt was so strong on this. Now, I did want to jump into some story content because I will tell you, and this is where I'm going to start, we give the positives and the negatives around here, is the flow on her. She's not a 5. She might be a 4, and that might come along with like having more practice playing her. Now, I've tested her a ton, but I went and I started using her in like 9.1 because that's what we have access to on the CCP server. And there was a couple of fights where I was like, I think she could be good here, but either the AI or just like there's just so many nodes that things started to fall apart. She could get them done. She could get them done for sure. It just became like, well, why wouldn't I use like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 other champions? And sometimes they weren't even in her class. So maybe playing her a bit more could come into play, but I did want to call that out. I did find this fight in 8.4 where it was asking for cosmic champions very clearly, and it was asking for debuffs, and there's not a lot of that in the cosmic class, right? We've got Vox that I could think of off the top of my head, and then of course there's Null as well, but she is unique in Cosmic for that reason, at least as the 7 stars are concerned. And so I do think that's something to keep in mind for her, because one of the things we always monitor on this channel too is meta. Like, what is Kabam asking us to do? Not only out of defenders, but out of nodes. And so she's really unique there. If she's already good, like in general, and then she has unique things about her that can give her some more prominence, or where you're really going to want to use her, that could increase her meta score significantly. Also, if more defenders like Arnim Zola come out with all these non-contact hits, or that need to be knocked down via heavies, of course, it's going to increase her meta score as well. Now we're going to look at this is like a 500,000, or I think a bit more than 500,000 Infamous Iron Man. And then we're going to look at the million one to show you just like the massive damage capabilities that are possible with her, because you're going to see some outrageous stuff with her. As people get more comfortable with her, or have her, take her into longer form content, it's going to be pretty crazy. Like, you've seen some of these red numbers. They go by so fast, but we're already early in the fight seeing, I think, over 3,000 from those instant incinerates. I haven't even talked to you about what, there's something else. There's a couple of things you want to be aware of before we get to the million fight here, is these echo charges and her special 2. The special echo is basically special attacks 1 and 2. Finishing either special attack grants a special echo for 60 seconds. You can see it's lasting quite a long time. I've got 3 of them now. Activating special 1 or 2 or 3 with 3 or more special echoes grants Phoenix an unblockable buff for the duration of the attack. So if you've got 3 of them, you activate a special 1 or special 2, something cool is going to happen. You're going to be unblockable for the duration, okay? The special 1, if you've got it, you're going to gain a power gain buff, granting 125% of a bar of power over 3 seconds. Pay attention to this. I'm going somewhere with this. And then on the special 2, with Cosmic Flame Aura would expire naturally, you're going to reactivate it. So the special 2, that's why I was making a good deal about not even getting to it for that one Infamous Iron Man. It activates the Cosmic Aura for you, which is like doing all that incinerate damage, okay? And then if you've got the special echo, it just replaces it. So you get ramped up. Let's go ahead and show this to you here. You're going to see this because this larger health pool is going to give us the opportunity to see it. So we're going to get the armor up off like we just talked about, right? So now we don't got to worry about it, because we're going to be holding our heavy enough to get all these incinerates going, that we're going to keep armor breaks up here on Infamous Iron Man, no problem. So we're going to be holding our heavy, and then we've thrown our special 1. One thing for you to know, just have confidence in this, get used to it, is it feels like there's a little bit of like a silent stun or something after the second hit of the heavy. I never had problems holding my heavy for the full duration and then immediately going into my special. They always landed. My phone did lag a little bit with her animations, and I've got like the newest iPhone Pro Max, the whole thing. So didn't love that, but in general, I was able to play her relatively well. You can see here, we're getting set up. We've got our 6 Furies because we've thrown 2 of our special 1s, and we're now going to throw our special 2, and we're going to get that Vortex up there. And you can see that in the upper left-hand corner. We had 3 of the echoes, so it is going to get replaced like it just did, like it said it would. So that's great, and that's why you're seeing so much damage being done. Now, here's the thing that I've been warning you about. We're going to build up to our special 1. It's going to take a second, so I'll hit play. Remember what I talked about with that power gain. You can set it up, and you're going to see me set it up here. So I want Doom to have no power, or as little as possible, before I throw this special 1. I'm going to throw it, and then watch my power just shoot up. Watch, it's just shooting up. And you need to throw it, it being your special 2, because you see all the vortexes we've got, right? We've got 4 of them. You need to throw your special 2 before that special 3 happens, because if you get to your special 3, yes, you're going to get like a nice heal and the right of the Phoenix, all that. We'll talk about that. We get to the signature ability, but you lose all your ramp. And so you really want to be careful with that. That's where she reminds me of Vox a little bit, where like that was really cool. And that felt great to get that much melt. And that's where you're going to see that sort of just like wild stuff happening on YouTube. And from, you know, it's cool and it's real. It's real. What I showed you was real. But, you know, I think she does enough damage just like Vox. I'd say play her conservatively unless you're just out there having fun, or you really need to go for those maximums. Because if you miss, just like Vox, you got to start all over. I really like her. We'll talk about her. You know what? Let's talk about her awakened ability, and then we'll talk about her overall. Or, in my opinion, she does not need to be awakened at all. Unless something comes along that changes my mind, you're not going to see me use an awakening gem on her. I am going to go out and get her the first day I possibly can from that quest. You can see it's a 50% chance to start each fight with an indefinite right of Phoenix. That is also what you get off the special 3. We've talked about that. It goes immortal, and I think she gets a 20% heal. So, I mean, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I can see lots of reasons why people would want that. Bullet point 2, each of Phoenix's personal fury buffs up to 6 reduces opponent's ability, block ability accuracy by 20 to 35%. This, again, feels really, really good to me. And yet, at the same time, you know, that's a lot of special ones. It's at least 2 special ones you've thrown in order to get up there. Also, as we were going to say here in the synopsis or kind of final thoughts, you need to be able to stun. And if you can stun, most champions where I'm concerned about their auto block ability, they can't auto block out of stun. So I don't know. I'm not saying this is never useful. I'm sure there are uses for it that would be really nice. And if you love this champion, I could see awakening her for all of these, but I would not awaken her just for bullet point 2. Let's put it that way. And then when Phoenix starts a fight with exactly 60, 40, or 20%, which happens to coincide with the revives, which is really, really cool. For her max health, she gains a regeneration buff, healing 20 to 40% of her max health. So this is obviously intended to be for like questing or things like that, save you some items, which no one's ever going to complain about. But again, unless you really just love her and you want these things, and I would want all of the bullet points, basically. I wouldn't use an awakening gem on her or anything like that. All right, let's get to the final thoughts. Okay, listen, a champion that's got this kind of power, that's a buff, that does not need to be awakened at all, I'm a big fan. She's also unique. We talked about how she does something different to these with the well-timed block of the non-parryable, non-contact attacks, basically. I'm not saying she's as powerful as America Chavez. I want to be abundantly clear. I'm not saying she is. But there is a uniqueness, just like Chavez is unique in the Mystic class, where she doesn't remove the buffs or she doesn't prevent them, she just gets stronger from them. This is a threat that does exist in the game, and Phoenix is the only one I can think of that actually powers up from it. Like I said, her ability to get through and do massive melt damage, as you're going to see here in this fight, I believe is pretty much impaired, at least the way she goes about doing it. There's something about her, though, that's making me feel like I want to see this a bit more. I'm going to start off very conservative like we usually do on this channel. We're in our 3rd tier. If you're familiar with my tier list, you know the 3rd tier is a very, very good tier. I can see her having some sort of influence, especially depending on the Battlegrounds meta or where you're weak. If you really want like one champion that can help cover like Zolas and Sentinels, which are 2 pretty prominent defenders in Battlegrounds, I think she's going to be good there. I think in War, it's going to be a little tough. I think it's going to be tough for her to make her hay in there because a lot of times Zola is placed on a stun immune node. And if you can't stun the opponent, she's not going to be very good for you. So I think this is going to be a time will tell. And I think ultimately it's going to be based on the defenders and the nodes that Kabam puts out. She is a champion that I could very much see getting into our 2nd tier very, very easily, just by us getting to know her a little bit better and play her a little bit better, or by the ass that Kabam makes. As usual, let me know what we think we got right. Let me know what we think we got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.